Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. It's Teresa here with a gorgeous Halloween fall themed layout for the Color Rush Studio design team. And I'm working with the October 2024 Hey Boo kit. And so what I've done first off is cut some 1/2 inch by 2 inch and 3 inch strips of each of the pattern papers, just about each of the pattern papers. I think I chose 5. And so I'll explain what I'm going to do with that in a little bit. But first, I wanted to do a mixed media background for this page. The challenge this month was to show an original or unique way to show pattern paper through paper tears or some other kind of way in your layout. And so first what I'm doing here is using gesso to prep my cardstock. I'm using a mixed media cardstock, like the kind you would find in the art supply aisle. And so gesso does a couple of different things. It prepares your page, and it also does a nice job of sort of hazing out elements on your page where you want it. It also works really well with matte medium, and that's what I'm using here. Matte medium has an adhesive quality, and they play well together because matte medium will stick this tissue paper down really nicely, and the gesso will allow some of the stars to show through and the edges to become a bit obscured so that it gives you that torn effect that the challenge called for. I did find that both of these products dry pretty quickly. The gesso is slower to dry than the matte medium, so I reapplied some of the matte medium as I was going along here. But basically, I just tore the tissue paper apart. This tissue paper was in the September kit last month, and I just hung on to it for Halloween layouts because it's perfect for these kinds of pages. And I just love how tissue paper, when you combine it with matte medium and gesso, it takes on this fabulous sort of wrinkled, distressed quality. You can add ink and colors and watercolor and different things to this, and those wrinkles will take on those colors beautifully. And so that's exactly what I'm going to do here. I'm just using a very simple $5 watercolor palette from Michaels. I love these things. They're easy to replace, easy to use up, and have a pretty nice selection of colors included in them. And so I'm going to start here with the lightest orange and a paintbrush and lots of water. Now, I typically work with heavy water when I'm working with watercolors. I'm not worried about details here. I'm just adding color to the background and create visual interest on that background, and also pull in colors from the collection itself. Another color that I'm bringing in here is sort of this magenta. Now, it turned out a little bit darker than what I was thinking. So I just easy enough added more water to sort of dilute that color down and make it more of a pink. And it's okay if it doesn't match perfectly. I just lay down a little bit of that color and then add more water to it to spread it around the colors that I've already laid down. I also really love this sort of sienna color. It's not quite brown, not quite orange, but I felt like it just added a little bit more dimension to the colors here on this background. I am loving this background. I've forgotten how much I enjoy doing simple little watercolor things like this. There's no stress with this. Notice how I'm keeping my wrist and my arm very loose and just not even really worrying about the details or anything like that. The last thing I'm going to do is add purple ink splotches here. And so I'm using the darker purple on this palette and the lighter purple that you can just barely see over there on the left-hand side. And then the super quick dry method, you can use your heat gun, but I tend to just use a quick paper towel and pull up the excess moisture and move on with the layout, because who's got time for stuff to dry? So this is my photo. I'll tell you about the story. It's actually just a really casual photo. We were sitting in the living room, just enjoying conversation, supporting each other and hanging out. And so I stopped and took a picture of that. This photo will go into October Daily, but I wanted to create this layout for Asher's album specifically, just because it is a pleasure and a joy to get to chat with her and support her and have fun in the living room on a quiet, random weekday night. And so that's really what this layout is all about. And I feel like, it was in the evening, so the photo's a little bit darker, but we're starting to get fall vibes here. And so that's, the photo here. So here's what I'm going to do with these strips. This is loosely inspired by some of Paige Evans' layouts, where she specifically takes branding strips and uses them to create cool elements on her layouts. These are not branding strips, but you can absolutely cut your own and incorporate all of the fabulous pattern papers in your layout. And that's something I love to challenge myself to do, to use all of the papers or as many as possible. I don't think that I've quite used all of them, but the majority of them have been incorporated here. And this just creates a nice little frame around the layout and around that background. It really makes for a collage-y kind of feel, and I love it. I don't know that this is my usual style of layout, but it's so fun just to experiment and play and just add all the things with no restrictions on myself, no limitations. Notice how I'm going to go around the page twice with these strips. And notice how I'm making an effort to stagger the patterns and make sure that each of the patterns is represented on each side of the page. I also noticed something when I was gluing these strips down, that the middle strip, I left a middle kind of area there that doesn't have a lot in it. It doesn't have any of the tissue paper, doesn't have a lot of paint. A little bit of yellow and pink there, but kind of just a valley there. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's actually a great place for your embellishments or just for your eye to rest. But it actually gives some options for the layout to go horizontal or vertical. What you see right now is more what I would call more of a vertical layout, and then when I turn it, it looks more horizontal. here's where I made the decision to just have two rounds of the pattern papers, and then I'm going to fold all of these strips up. I'm not going to bore you and make you watch the whole thing of going all the way around, but you will see here in the process of doing this where I decided to go with a horizontal valley there in the center of the layout, and just the end of bending up all of those strips. I was just going for more texture, more raised edges, because I will be having raised edges once I add the embellishments. And so photo going here on the more on the left hand side here, and I definitely wanted to work with these gorgeous spider webs. They're black acrylic with beautiful silver glitter incorporated, and they're just the perfect photo corners. I'm gonna do my little pop-up trick with the photo here so that I can tuck things under it and over it. Notice how I'm just using regular tape runner adhesive to glue those spider webs down. And then those spider webs provide a great opportunity to add ephemera or elements on top. So I'm going to go through the little ephemera pack. I haven't been through it yet. But I wanted to just kind of see what elements I wanted to play with and what direction I want to take. There are some great title pieces in this ephemera pack. The ghosts are really cute. The witch is awesome. There's another title piece. The little cats and the little bats. I love it. I love Halloween so much. I'm really digging the fall vibes title piece. I think that's the one I want to use for the title, just because that's what the photo feels like. It's starting to feel like fall, warm, cozy living room. And then I also noticed that there were some ghosts on the chipboard pack from American Crafts. And of course, these amazing spiders. I've got to incorporate those somehow. So, starting with the fall vibes, I'm going to add that here and the little house underneath it. I just think that this whole photo and layout says home to me. And that is one of the most important and special things that we have is home. No matter what your home looks like, no matter who's in your home right now or not in your home right now, it's still where you are and where your loved ones are. So that's the main vibe, but it doesn't mean you can't incorporate some of these cute little ghosties. So he's going in, and the little boo title. And then there are two little white ghosts in this pack. One over here on the right, and another one over here just in the corner. Look how cute he is. I love those. Love the little bit of white holograph as well. And there was those little black bats in that title pack as well. So I've incorporated those, and here come the spiders. I chose just to use two. I thought about using all of them, but I think that there's so much going on already that they there's kind of a risk of them getting lost. So I don't want that to happen. So I saved some for another layout when they'll be able to show better. I definitely am going to use this journal spot here in the ephemera pack from American Crafts. And did you notice the little pink skeleton, the pink skull that I tucked underneath the top of the photo? Boo. she's hiding out under there. This is a great little journal spot, a perfect little place for the date and handwritten words. And then I moved that little bat. I'm still not sure if I like where I put that little bat, but we'll see. We'll see if it bugs me and if I move it later on. But for now, it's there. I added another little skeleton here. Notice how I kind of am just doing whatever I add to the right, I'm adding to the left as well, just to keep some repetition there, some easy recognition across the layout. And then that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you will take a look at the Color Rush Studio kits. I'll have the links down below for you. They're super fun to play with, and I will definitely be seeing you back here again real soon. Thanks again. Bye-bye.